Market Traders TV. Learn, make money, be happy.
All right, let's just look at the majors here first. Let's kind of just look at the high overview picture of these guys, and then we'll get into the trades after. So ES coming into this swing area, right? Throw that off. This is kind of the high time frame area of interest. This is going to be a big, massive zone, but that's kind of the high time frame area of interest on the daily. It did make a new high here too. So yeah, they made a new high and they made a new low, so it's a little wonky. They're trying to hold this, but they did make a new low. There's another little area right here. That's it. Yeah. Kind of tested already here though. I tested it right here. The bottom of it's not really tested yet. And then the swing test. So a couple areas to be watching to the downside. It's on the 4-hour level. Let me just look at the daily. Yeah, we'll see. Like ES it's a little tricky just because they made a new high and they made a new low. So I'd like to see this area just hold and just send it, and then to the upside you'd be looking at 48. 48-ish. To the downside, they kind of tested that already. There's a lot of confidence in this zone 43.5, 43.50. So I'd just be aware, of this if they did start slipping this. There's a lot of shit here. Kind of how I see the ES anyway. I'm currently in long positions, but on the ES. But we'll talk about that in a minute when I start breaking down the trades I did this week. Just look at BTC or XBT USD. Probably the best chart to use for this shit. So quite the down move, man, in Bitcoin. Well, this is kind of the area, dude, that they don't really want to get much below this, for the yeah, like they really just kind of want to turn this around, or like it's gonna get real bad for the bulls anyway. The kind of area I'm looking at is this. Looks like they tagged this perfectly. So if they start gaining this level, then I'll definitely be looking for, if it doesn't get too far away, I'll look for re-ads here. We can go over that when I talk about the trading. So Bitcoin, it's just been in this downward slope, man, the whole week, man. They make a new low, they test the daily. They make a new low, they test the daily. So, I'd be looking for this. You need to be looking for PTs on your longs at the daily, right? If you did take longs, just like here, and just like here, they always they come back and test the daily a lot. So if you are in a long, you need to be taking daily. Obviously, have a runner. If they break that, then we can start talking about something else, right? We can start talking about something back up here, probably right here. Yeah, right here. Right here. Yeah, kind of the area that I'm watching is just the top of the zone. Kind of what I had marked. This. So So, they're pretty much at it. So they really need to turn this around. Or it's going to get real bad for the for the Bears, for the Bulls. It's gonna be very very bearish. We'll see though. Let's just look at the NQ real quick. NQ taking it real deep. Still just banging around this top, the all-time high zone. This is why all-time high is hard to trade, man, because it's, they give you a short signal and they bang around here. I mean, I guess if you know what you're doing, it's not, it's there there is a bunch of opportunity. We'll see. Good morning. So, what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna go over my trades I've done this week. Some of the ones anyway that I put on my Twitter. We can break them down and just see if they were a good idea or not. If you guys want to follow along, you can just go there and follow along. But let's just go through it. Hello. So just bear with me here for a sec, guys. I'm just gonna scroll back to the start of the week and we can pull up the trades. All right. Okay. There's one from December 14th. This is when I started the week, basically. Yeah, December 14th. This is when I started. So that was ES on December 14th. ES. All right. Look at the 15-minute, and we can look at the ES 14th. So here was the setup on ES. So this was a really good trade for me. It was coming down into a level of interest, and then we have the setup here. We have the setup here. We had a 15-minute gain over top, right? And then a retest and pump. So and then it was PTs here and PTs off the top of this. So pretty good. My mistake on this trade was not. Did it gain a 4-hour here? Just have a look. See. Gee, I hate these stupid charts, man. No, it didn't gain a 4-hour. So my big mistake on this trade was moving my stop. I moved my stop up to once this action started here. I moved my stop to here. This was the Fed. This was the FOMC day. So I moved my stop to here, and I got stopped out by a quarter. So that was a big mistake on my part on this trade. I should have just left the stop where the fuck it was, and I would have made way more money because this thing took off, right? And honestly, I should have been doing re-ads too. Once this really took off. It happens. It's not a huge deal, but it still stings when the trade goes that much in the other direction. I really should have been doing re-ads too when this thing started gaining an hourly. Oh my god! Like, why when you flip time frames does it go to somewhere else on the chart where you're not looking? That's the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, once we started gaining an hourly is where I should have started looking for re-ads if I didn't get stopped out. Uh, but because I got stopped out, it's kind of hard to take trades up here when you're stopped out because there's nowhere to put the stop, right? So just it is what it is. I kind of just walked away from it, just waiting for the next setup. So that was that trade. Mistake. Can do better next time. Don't move my fucking stop. Simple as that. See what else we got here. Oh, okay, here's one for the 14th. Let's check it out. Bitcoin. Oh no, it was this one. Here we go. On the 14th. BTC one day. Oh, BTC USDT. Okay, it was right in here. Yeah, it was right here. All right. So this was the top of the range trade. I already don't like it because it was top of the range. Here's the setup. So Bitcoin bouncing off of a resistance zone, came back down, found support, then gained the 15. So I took this trade here. I did get a PT out of it. Then I was stopped out on the rest. This was basically a scratch trade for me. Just have a look at the 4 hour and see if I really should have done this. Oh man, like, what kind of software is this? Just the worst. Great. Now I'm like way over here. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? It's just dumb. So, looking at this again, man, it's probably not the best area to be taking trades to the long side, right? Um, we're pushing up on a 4 hour resistance. It made a new low, so like expectation should be like down. You know what I mean? And there's lots of stuff in here for it to react to, right? Like there's this, and there's this. So it's just, looking back at this is probably not the smartest trade to be taking to the upside. Maybe down here, but even this, I don't think I took a trade there, but that's really not the best trade to be taking to the upside either because we made a new low here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to take an upside trade until we make another low. Kind of how I'm looking at it. I don't know if I took a trade there or not, but I'll have to look through the thing. But looking back on this trade, it's really not the smartest trade to be taking, because you're pushing up on a 4 hour resistance, and you're in a downtrend. So you know, uh, this one worked out as just a scratch trade, so it doesn't matter. You didn't really lose any money, but looking back on it now, it's kind of stupid to take that trade. Let's see what else we got here. Um, December 15th, Bitcoin. Yeah, so I did take that trade. December 15th. So this was before the Fed. You know, I had other reasoning for taking this trade because I really thought the Fed was going to pump it, and they did. So um, looking back on it again, it's right here. Yeah, yeah, right here. So this was the area that I was looking at. This one was kind of just a flyer because of the Fed. Not the smartest trade to be taking. Again, the because we're in a we're in a downtrend. This is where I took the trade. Because we're in a downtrend, like you really shouldn't be taking longs until you make a new low. This one I made money on too, but it is what it is. It's still not the best trade to be taking. I mean, it's okay, I guess. You're just playing a continuation off this to the top of the range. I mean, it's not the worst trade. Looking back on it now, I don't like it, but it's definitely not the worst trade. I like to wait for some kind of a confirmation too. Um, on this chart, this candle is actually the swing, so that's why I took it on the XBT chart. This candle is a swing. So once we started getting above this is why I took it. We started getting above this here, so I entered positions around here. So I got this retest. Then I took PTs, and then the runner. I think I even got a PT way up here. This was the last PT right here. So by the time we hit there, I was 75% out of the position. This one I did do a re-add too because it was Fed day, it was so crazy. I was looking at the 4-hour chart. You love how this thing just goes backwards. Great. Flip the chart and now I'm like way in somewhere else. So I was looking at the 4-hour chart, and once we started getting above, or maybe it was a 1-hour chart, I can't remember. Maybe it was the 1-hour chart. Yeah, it was. Once we started gaining the 1-hour here, we started getting above this. I started looking at the bottom of this for re-eds. Right there. So once price started getting up here, well on the retrace is where I added around this area. Then again, I was taking PTs on the way up, so I take PTs here, and then I took a big PT. So this all worked out, but looking back on it, the time to take the long trade was when it made new lows, like after it made the new low. Oh, sorry. Yeah, after it made the new low, that's when I should have been in looking for longs down here. You know, after it made a lower low than this. Once it made a lower low than that, that's when you should start looking for longs. You should start looking for longs to come and back up and test the top again. That's why I was looking for longs down here. You know, we'll go through that trade after. Check the next trade. What we got? What we got here? Here's one. Here's one I did on a crypto. Storage. So this one worked out pretty good. I was just looking at we're in a resistance zone. I just happen to be across this crypto. You know what I mean? While flipping through some charts. So we're in a resistance zone. I'm to above this. So because we made new highs here, I should have been looking for not to. I shouldn't have had such deep PTs. You know what I mean? Um, show you the setup that we took. Right here. So retesting this, losing this, retesting this. I had orders. This is the order block for me. Then I took PTs on the retest of the bottom. I took a PT, and then on this 4-hour is where I took the next PT. Right here. So that was the big PT. And then my big mistake on this one was I re-added when we came back up. And we moved down. I didn't take another PT, but I ended up just getting stopped out. So this trade was just basically a scratch trade for me. I'm, you know, bouncing something like that. Probably I should have known that it was gonna bouncing it that hard. I should have just kind of got the fuck out of the way after that and not re-added. You really don't want to be coming up this high. You want it to reject down here. for a continuation down. Should have known better. Not a huge deal. This was basically a scratch trade for me because I took some PTs and then I took a stop. So not a massive deal. Let's see what else we got here. All right, and then we have the ES trading on. ES trading on Friday. Pop that in there for you guys to have a look. Yeah. So this one's going to be pretty straightforward. ES, so we're coming in to testing a zone here. Like we're just back below this resistance. ES, like it's just been going up and down and up and down, right? So that's why I'm kind of just looking for trades every time it comes back down. Say you should be looking for shorts too, like every time it comes back up. This is how price action usually works at all time high. You get a lot of chop back and forth. So my idea here was, it came down into the level of interest. I didn't like that it made a new low, but it also made a new high here, right? So it's the price action is kind of wonky a little bit right now with the ES. We did have a gain over top of this, right? Pretty solid too. Like it was a pretty big move. And then this is where I took the trade. I would have liked it a little bit lower, but I just pushed it here. Took a PT, and then right at the end of the day, I did a re-add at six. This one I caught like the absolute bottom, 606 or something like that. 605. So the now what I want on this is to go higher than this, right? I'd like it to come back up here again. We'll see, I guess. Did have a little bit of a move here. So that was pretty much my trading that I put. I did other trading, but that's those are the ones that I kind of put out on the Twitter there. Um, I try to like put as many trades as I can out on Twitter for you guys. Um, I don't know. I find it helps me too, just like journaling a little bit. And I think this is a pretty good exercise, just going back through your trades that you did for the week, some of them anyway, and just make sure that you're on track. Have if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and is the trade still a good trade? So the CS trading was good; it was all proper, I think. Uh, but you can see, like, there were some of my trades there, but I didn't. I think that they were kind of dumb. So really need to start paying more attention to where you. I need to start paying more attention where I am in trend, I guess. Uh, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for me right now. Hopefully, Nels can edit this down and put it up on YouTube. Probably a pretty good exercise for people to understand a little bit better.
Thank you for watching and learning with Market Traders TV.